thing is too, you can look at these numbers two ways. You can look at numbers as, oh, we're gonna have all these ATVs coming to our town and tearing it up and all this, or you can say, hey, these ATVs are coming to town, they're gonna spend money. Okay, and that's what, it's, to me, on my side, it's all about tourism. I mean, that's what I'm promoting this as tourism, because you got the other towns, we're trying to do what we do up in Wisconsin here. You know, instead of going up there and spending 10 grand out of 25 people in a week's time, we're not spending here. Obviously, we're not gonna spend that much here just because we're not spending motel and all that stuff. But that's not saying these other counties in this area aren't wanting to come this way. We have other counties, Delaware County's working on it, Allen Key County's working on it right now. There's other counties that are trying to come on board. Just for this pure simple fact is this is a sport that we like to do, no different than riding a horse, riding a bicycle, riding a whatever, motorcycle down the road, you know, going from town to town.
So once we have this, so they're able to get to town and they're able to get across town, how do you actually get to those businesses then if you don't have all these little squares and side streets?
Well, that's what my first original map that I sent was right down First Street. Right down First Street, all businesses are there. Eliminates all these little drop downs, all these back streets. I mean, basically First Street's the only one that's got the businesses on. I mean, obviously Iowa Avenue, that's just a connector route to get up from south to north. Land Boulevard down to Enterprise Drive, or Jackson Avenue down to Enterprise Drive, you go to the truck stop to get some fuel from the south side. Otherwise, the only other fuel place is Casey's, and that's up on, what is it, 9th Avenue?
Is there
9th, and that's that drop down there on 9th.
Is there a time of day that these can be utilized?
Sunrise to sunset.
I guess with it being out there by the high school on 20th Avenue and stuff, my concern is we're going to start having all the high schoolers instead of driving their cars to town, they're going to all bring their ATVs because they're more fun.
Couldn't be any worse than mopeds.
Like I said, I don't know a lot about this.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to
But
probably.
they have to be 16 years old, valid driver's license, insured. That machine has to be. So, I'm not saying that's not a possibility.
I thought you just said 17.
16 and 17-year-olds have to have a safety certificate through the.
Oh, okay.
So it would just.
18-year-olds don't.
Right.
So if they started doing that, the school would have to just check and make sure the ones coming there are
Or the
correct,
school
or
would say, no,
and the
you know.
person's old enough is correct. And
We'd have to
We
pay
can always
another
just leave
part.
that on the school to decide if they can allow the students to drive ATVs.
Lauren,
they would have that.
if we just put First Street in there, could you guys live with the streets I've circled? Just to get out of town from the various quadrants?
Curious if his roads are the same as mine.
Okay.
Did you think about this 150 here?
Yeah, you have to go down to Second.
Or do we just? Oh.
So you're saying all these intersections are the same? Okay, so you're saying this street, eliminate
Yeah.
these,
Yeah.
correct? Well, from, okay, because we're coming down.
You'd use them first.
That's the
Mayor
first
has
map I said.
right to appoint
Um,
committees ad hoc, yes.
Enterprise Drive just to
Yeah.
get the trucks out.
Yeah.
She has to.
Jackson, you don't do.
Yeah.
These two.
Yeah, so that'd be the same.
I guess I'm requesting this one here, just because there are 9 ATVs on here, and that's coming down to get to the truck town.
Okay, I have another question or suggestion or request or to get your guys' feelings on this, those of you that are here for the thing. If we had a committee of 2 or 3 of our council members could get together with your group and actually kind of look at these streets and come up with an idea that's combined. It's not something you just designed, we approved, or we designed and you had to deal with. If we did something that you guys could get together, would that be feasible? I'm not trying to delay this, or, you know, I'm not trying to cause more trouble. I'm just, because there's questions and there's 2 different suggestions out there and all that good stuff. Is that something your group would entertain to do?
Yes, I would, because I actually, at the parade, I asked Al about if we were having a meeting to talk about this map, to get everything kind of figured out what is liked and what's disliked.
Yeah,
And I was hoping to have that before this, but.
okay. Well, I know everybody's schedules are very busy, but are there any council members
But
that would be willing to be on a committee? I'd rather, because it would go under our safety committee.
Well, but I think what we need to do is pass the resolution that the council wants to do this with an amendment that we will bring back a map that's agreeable to both parties. But that's been the problem, is the consensus that people got from the council was they're not interested in letting it happen at all. And I think rather than waste a whole bunch more time putting another map together and then have it fail 4-3, why don't we just pass this with an amendment that we will bring a map to the next council meeting for approval?
Because your resolution itself says that we're approving the route map.
That's why I'm amending it.
Which is why I'm thinking if you guys could sit down together and come up with something.
But why
Then we
waste
would
our
have
time if it
a
doesn't pass the
resolution.
council?
So essentially, he's asking, why not let us vote on it to see
I
if we're
second
all
it.
interested in.
Can we amend a resolution like that?
My opinion is, it's posted on the agenda, even though the resolution already says something, you as a political body can take whatever action you want as long as it's on the table on the agenda, and it is. So go ahead and do it, as long as it's pertinent to this topic, which it is, then you can do it, you can have your resolution say whatever you want it to say. So yeah, you can change it.
I'd like to make the motion with the amendment that we will bring a map back to the next council meeting, that we approve limited usage on city streets with a committee from the council and the ATV group to put together a map to bring back at the next council meeting.
Because
I
as
second it.
the way your resolution reads is, whereas the city council met on Monday, July 13th, majority vote approved the route map for the Operation ATV. So you're saying instead of that, it's going to say approved concept and a route map will be presented later? Or
Yeah, so
how do we
approve
change the
limited-
wording
we
of
approve
this?
limited use.
If I may, I'd just suggest that the resolution approving an ATV route through Independence, and then we add to that the map as an addendum or as a, what do you say, I guess an attachment after you see the map next week. But
Designated.
if the resolution approves the use of ATVs in the city of Independence on designated routes, stop. We'll designate the route, and you have what you're trying to accomplish, I
Yeah.
think.
Sorry.
I just want to,
Realize how that has to be reworded?
rather than put a whole much more time in, let's just get the issue settled.
Better restate whatever the resolution says now, I think.
Whatever Al said.
Yeah.
So we know what we're voting on, what the wording is we're voting on.
A resolution approving an ATV route through Independence with a map and we'll attach the map as the addendum.
Designated routes attached.
Approving use of ATVs on designated routes within the city of Independence.
And that won't take effect, obviously, until you have a designated route, which is what we would work on.
Yeah, that we better make sure, otherwise it's just a blanket authority to operate
Yeah.
wherever, so you don't want that until you have your map done. I agree.
I think you need to be really cautious of how that's worded.
Might want to put in there, it doesn't go into effect until the next council meeting.
Well, with it saying designated routes, we don't have any designated routes currently, so.
Yeah, but that would eliminate the blanket policy.
Yep, I think that would do it.
Or won't go into effect till route is approved, because if we can't figure one out by next council meeting, then.
Well,
Claire's
so
mine.
saying if we put designated-
Really?
Barb, do you think you have that?
Does everybody out there understand all that?
So, resolution approving use of ATVs on designated routes within the city of Independence, to be effective the next regularly scheduled council meeting.
I think they want something different than that. I think they
Yeah,
want it to
doesn't
say,
want to
to be
say.
effective upon, creation of a route map.
A
Yeah.
designated route.
Yeah, just in
street
case we don't have
map.
something ready by the next council
I
meeting.
mean, with our schedules and everything else, we might not get a chance to,
Meet before the next meeting.
I mean, we'll try the best we can, whoever it is, but we'll at least got.
Summer's
Okay,
not
how
over.
about in the city of council chambers and by majority vote approved for the operation of ATVs within the corporate city limits on, with a designated route and streets to be determined later, something to that degree? So we're at least approving them to be able to do it once we have an approved designated route map.
Can I
It says,
second
whereas the route map will be maintained on file at City Hall. That's, we don't even have one yet.
I think we're set.
So did you make the motion, Bob?
I made that motion.
I will second that
You
motion.
can't, I seconded it 20
Denny
minutes.
Oh, all right
seconded
then.
it 20 minutes ago.
I didn't hear you.
And we really know what that's gonna say, for sure.
I'll type it up and send it to Martha.
Yeah,
You'll
I know
approve
what your intent is, so we'll get
Okay.
it, we'll get it,
Okay.
we'll get it straight.
I think we need to do this as a roll call.
Hill,
Yes.
Dallenbach,
Yes.
Grover,
Yes.
Brown,
No.
Holland,
No.
Linius,
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Okay, majority. Motion is carried. Next on my agenda, contract performance and our payment bonds for the 2015 curb and sidewalk project Phase 2. You have some input into this that you checked into.
Well, this was Monday's meeting. You had asked that this be on the agenda tonight for consideration. Since Monday's meeting, we have had a chance to do a little bit of discussing. And Mike Schrader with Chick Fry is here. One suggestion that I have is we do have the performance bond and the contract, which under normal circumstances would be ready for your signature, ready to execute. There was talk about, should we do this? Should we eliminate the project? How do we handle it? My suggestion has been, I think it would be more prudent for us to postpone it